So Ali and I are kind of car perverts. Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. And first of all, can I just say a big, massive thank you to you guys for hitting 800,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel, which is just absolutely insane. I honestly did not think I would reach that anywhere near this fast. I think we were saying at the end of last year, was it like, I can't even remember. It was not anywhere near this level. Like the growth this year that you guys have given me with stuff like Skyrim and Sims has just been absolutely incredible. And I'm constantly blown away by how amazing you guys are. You always put a smile on my face and make me feel really, really happy. So thank you guys so much. Thanks to subscribers old that have been here since the start and new subscribers that support me as well. Thank you guys so much. There's a lot of familiar faces that I always recognize in the comments. Oh gosh, I'm knocking everything over. That I recognize in the comments on YouTube and on Twitter, and you guys are just the best. So thank you so much. And when I announced on Twitter that I'd hit 800k, actually it was you guys tweeting me to let me know that I had. I said to you guys, you want me to do a Q&A? You guys said yes, so we did a really super quick Twitter Q&A, and you guys have sent me loads of questions. So I'm gonna blast through as many of them as I can now. Hi, why you guys seem to want to get really close? Yeah, my camera's just fallen. Can we magnify this please, camera? If you guys have any other questions, just drop them in the comments in this video below and I will go through them when this video goes live and try and answer as many of your guys' questions as I can. So let's just blast through as many of them as I can. I love it when you guys, like, there's a lot of stuff I think you guys want to know and I don't always manage to see the questions, so these Q&As are a really good way to do it. I kind of do them every milestone, so it's a little bit of a tradition, you guys. So we will kick off with Ellie Tinseltoes, who asks, Claire, are you going to be selling merch? And congrats on the 800k. Thank you very much. So I actually wanted to talk to you guys about this because merch is something I really want to do whenever I meet you guys in person. You always ask me about it. You ask me a lot about it online. And it is definitely something I thought so much about and something I want to start doing. I've actually worked on a few designs myself just at home, putting this stuff together because I really want to get it right. And if I do launch any merch, I want it to be the kind of stuff that I would wear, or the stuff that I like seeing people wear. So for guys, I like seeing like the long line t-shirts and that kind of thing. And for girls, you guys know I wear like the little cropped t-shirts quite a lot with like high-waisted jeans or shorts. So I want it to be stuff that I think you guys will like and that I like. So I've had a go at designing some stuff already. The issue I'm having is that to get to the next step of actually finding someone to make the merch is such a time-consuming process. And I just don't have the time for it, but I'm gonna have to do it in 2018. You guys need to keep nagging at me to do it because I really want to do it, and please let me know what you think of those little designs right here. So Nordy1994 asks, when will you and Ali get engaged and then married? So the way I keep track of how long Ali and I have been together is I actually got my car about the same time we started dating, or we started making things official, and my car is a lease. It's my little Mercedes A-Class. It's just a lease that I got when I worked at Xbox, and it's coming up to its 3-year mark in like April, May next year. So that will be when Ali and I have been together for 3 years, because it's when I hand my car back in. And I kind of think if you've been together 3 years, you're definitely starting to get to that point where you need to there is a next step that needs to happen. So we are both on the same page with this. We both want to get married. We just want to do it right. And it's also, again, time. Like, bless Ali. I don't know when he would have the time to like organize like an engagement and ring and all that kind of thing. And then for both of us to plan a wedding. It's a difficult thing to do, but it is something we both want to do, and hopefully it won't be too long. Fingers crossed, not that I sound desperate at all. So Isa Q, I am second 21, asks, could you tell us more about the jobs that you had before becoming a full-time YouTuber? So I actually made a whole video, it was a long time ago now, it's probably about 2 years ago, on how to get into the video games industry. If you guys didn't know already, I worked at a lot of agencies in the video games industry, and then I started working at Xbox. So I've worked on like Capcom games like Okami, Devil May Cry, Resident Evil, Street Fighter. I then worked on a lot of kind of individual titles with Xbox, but not for Xbox. And then I started to work for Xbox as a bit more of a global sort of role that looked after a lot of games campaigns, and it was a lot of fun. And that whole video goes into a lot about how to get into the games industry, so I think if you're interested in that video is going to be really useful. I'll try and remember to put it as a little card you guys can click in this video, and if not, you can just search for it on my channel and it's there. Other jobs I had, so I used to work, my first job was working in Debenhams, so I worked at the perfume counter, and then I worked at River Island as well, just not very fun job at all. I worked a lot around the Christmas period. It was just hanging things up in the cold because the doors were always open, so that wasn't ideal. And then I also worked in a bar in Harrogate called Picture and Piano, so I worked behind the bar on the floor waitressing. That one was good because you got tips as well, and the tips were pretty good. Because in Harrogate, there's actually an American military base, and Americans tip a lot better than English people do. They were like the jobs I had before I started working in PR, which is what I started in before I went into like more video game social stuff. And I worked all throughout uni. I've literally worked since I've been able to work, so that's my job history. But the more interesting, chunky bit about the video games, please search back on my channel to find all that out. Kirsty Jewel 1110 said, can you please do Live Like a Sim for 24 hours, please? So I tweeted this out recently. I know there's been a lot of bigger YouTubers that have done this in the past kind of 3 or 4 months. But I actually saw somebody do this on the Sims subreddit on Reddit, probably about 5 or 6 months ago. A guy just did it, like a little bit more of a more simple, true to living like a sim for 24 hours video, and I'm like, I love this video so much. But I would have to make all of this house on The Sims 4, and I was kind of thinking we were looking for a house at the time. We've actually found a house now. We've actually got a house, but we can't move into it because it doesn't have any internet. But keep an eye out for that because there'll be more info about that soon. So I was like, oh, I'll hold off, wait until we get a house, and then I'll build our house in The Sims 4, and then I can make that video. And then it took us like a year to find a house. So it ended up taking us so long that the video, so many of those videos have come out, and I don't want to just look like a copycat now. But I do really want to do that video. I think it's just something I'm going to save for when we're in the new house, so that I'm actually making our real life house in The Sims and not making this one and then immediately moving out from it. I hope that makes sense. But I do really want to do it, and I've wanted to do it for like so long. And I kind of feel a bit silly that I missed the boat because a lot of people have had huge viral videos on it. So Vishun Blue Wolf asks, if you had the chance of getting a superpower, what would it be? There's so many cool superpowers to choose from. I don't actually know. I think like super strength would be really cool. I think the ability to cure people just by touching them would be really cool. If you guys don't know already, I'm like very into like animals, and I support a lot of animal charities. I do a lot of subscriptions through the WWF. So I would like to be able to solve the issue of like endangered animals. I think that would be what my superpower would be. Don't know how that would look. Maybe I like just like live as a lion pack and protect the world. I don't know. But my superpower would be saving the animals. I don't know if that sounds kind of lame, but I like it. So Courtney Jelaine asks, you said in the past that you've given presentations on work and research. Any tips on giving presentations as a student? Presentations are really tough, guys, and I didn't get good at them until I was in uni, I would say. I did a lot of presentations in school, and then I actually did a medicine degree, or the first year of one, before I went into PR. And I had to do a presentation in front of like, I don't know, like 200 people on hypertension, which is high blood pressure, and I didn't know anything about it until then. And I was shaking, and that's when I realized how scary I found presentations. And I also talked really fast. So it took a long time to kind of improve on that. And the things that I would say you need to do is, one, know what you're presenting about, the material so well. Literally learn it until it's like the back of your hand. And then you're not presenting something off a page, you're just talking about something you already know. That's a lot easier. Two, it's really hard, but just slow right down. I talk so fast in real life. I don't know if I sound like I talk fast in my videos or not, but literally if I'm presenting, I will talk really slowly. It's scarier because it means it takes longer, but you're gonna sound so much better. You're not gonna stumble over your words, and it's just a lot easier way to do it. And then three, this is something that you learn as you get older. When you're younger, you think everybody is waiting for you to fail. Everybody judges you really harshly because you think other people judge you the way that you judge you. Literally, that doesn't happen at all. If you saw somebody present and they made a fool of themselves or they didn't do something right, most people, I'd like to think, would have been like, haha, like, you've messed up. You kind of feel for them. Like, you'd be like, oh, like, you want them to do well. Like, you want people to do well. And people think that about you as well. So don't think like this negative point, like standpoint of these people are waiting for me to fail. I'm gonna look like such an idiot. People want you to do well. Just even if you think that person doesn't, and even if they don't, just pretend that they do, and you will find things so much easier. And the older you get, the more you realize people don't care about you anywhere near as much as you think. And I don't mean that in the negative way. I mean that they are not literally waiting for you to trip up and fail and to judge you. They are just letting you live their lives, and they are living with theirs. They've got their own stuff going on. I've gone on about this point for a really long time, but I hope that helped. So Chloe C453 asks, what did you take for your GCSEs, and do you have any tips? So, my GCSEs is easy to remember what I got. 4 A stars in art, English, history, and geography. I got 4 A's in chemistry, biology, physics, and what was this cheeky little one? There was one more, I can't remember what it is. And then I took German, which I got a C in, and maths, which I got a B in. I'm not as good at maths as I am about other stuff. I'm good at remembering things, and I'm good at writing things. I'm good at making up stories, and I'm good at remembering facts. Not so good about adding things up in this little wooden head. So they are what I took on my GCSEs, and the tips would be, when I did revision notes, I would start with a huge chunk of text, try and reduce it to maybe 15 bullet points. Learn them as well as I could, and then reduce that to like 5 bullet points. And in those 5 bullet points, because I'd learnt them in the other 2 ways, I could reduce them down, and it's much easier to remember 5 facts than it is to try and remember a whole page. The other thing is, oh sorry, I've just realized GCSEs, if you're in America, they are like the exams you take when you're like 16, like 15, 16 sort of age. They're not the big exams you take when you're 18 before you go to uni, but they are really important in school. And then my other tip for GCSEs would be, if it's like, or any exam, if you see the question and it's like a 10 marker, try and imagine yourself nailing a point for every one of those 10 points. So if it's a history question, it's like a 5-pointer or something. Try and imagine like, okay, so this fact is gonna get me, this was the first point. Adding on this bit of information is the next point. Try and almost imagine every tick on the page, because then you'll know what to write. That really helped me. So Nora Amelia asks, what's your favorite movie book genre? Do you read a lot? And she is from Finland. So hello from Finland. So I actually love anything that's fantasy and romance. I'm a complete sucker for that. So stuff like Game of Thrones, I absolutely love the book series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. If you haven't read it, read it. It doesn't actually get good until the end of the book, but then the next 2 books are great. I'm currently reading A Throne of Glass, I think it is. That one, in my opinion, doesn't get good until book 3. You've got to persevere, because I imagine the next 2 books are going to be really good. And I just love anything with like, I don't know, like romantic characters that's also like a fantasy setting and it has an elf. You can probably tell by the fact that I love like Skyrim, and I love stuff like Harry Potter books. Oh my god, I loved Harry Potter books so much when I was a kid. Every time a new one came out, I would read every single book before it just to like get me ready for the next Harry Potter. And I read Lord of the Rings as well. I didn't love that as much, but I think it's because the Harry Potter books would release like for the years I was at school, so I kind of felt like I was part of, I pretend my school was Hogwarts. This has just turned into how big of a nerd is Claire. So Cassidy Smith asks, if you could live anywhere you wanted, where would you live? So Ali and I both have a few places that we'd absolutely love to spend some of our lives in. The first one we'd love to do is New York. So I think that in an ideal world, we would probably leave the little kitty cats here because I don't think they travel so well. But we would get Evie a passport and go and live in New York for like 3 months. Probably move to like Brooklyn. Bring all our work stuff there and just live in New York for 3 months because we both love New York so much. The thing that's holding us back is time. Like, it's really difficult to organize moving to another country, but we would both absolutely love to do it. The other places we'd love to live is Japan, just because it would be such a culture shock. I think culture shocks are good. Probably only like 3 weeks to a month in Japan would be really cool. And then we would both love to go to Australia. We've got friends out in Australia. Ali's really close with an Australian YouTuber called Lachlan. And it would just be good to kind of catch up with some of those Australian YouTubers, but also live a life where you could finish work and go and chill out on a beach. I know not all of Australia is like that, but don't ruin this for me, okay? Don't ruin that. So Owen Stanley asks, would you ever consider making a book like Ali's? So, fun story. When I was really young and I was into Pokemon, I used to write Pokemon stories and illustrate them, and then like write all the pages and then like bind them together with staples and like literally write these little books. I used to write magazines as well. And then when I got older, I used to write stories on my computer about a spy, like this female spy, and like the head travels and her adventures that she got up to. I've loved reading, I love books, and I love stories. So I actually would love to write a story. I think I can take other people's really well written characters and I can make a story around them. I actually do that a lot in my head all the time. It's so nerdy. But I would struggle to write, like I'd have to create really cool characters. But if I could, I would love to write a story. It would probably be a young adult fantasy romance, let's not lie, and it would be wonderful and you'd fall in love with everyone. So Sunshine16, that's a very cute name, asks, when do you and Ali plan on getting another dog? So in the new year, we hope to move into a house. I can't wait to show you it. And then once we're settled EVBV settled, the cats are settled, that's when we will begin the dog hunt. And it will take us however long it takes us to find the right dog. So I don't know whether we'd get a puppy or we'd get a rescue. Either way, it will be a long search to make sure, one, it's a healthy, happy dog, and two, it fits in with our little cutesy family dynamic very well. So Flory Summer asks, what is your dream car? So Ali and I are kind of car perverts. If we drive anywhere, we definitely have a little bit of a perv at the cars that we drive by. We love looking at cars. We are both actually very much in love with the Tesla Model X at the moment. I like Elon Musk. I think he's a really cool person and he's trying to do a lot of good for the world. So in my head, if you buy that car, you're supporting his ideology, which I kind of like as well. Other cars that I love is obviously I love Ali's car. I love Ali's R8. I love RS7s. I would love my own like RS5, like a little bad boy blacked out kind of car. I think that would be really cool. I like my own little car, but the cool version of that would be the AMG A45 A-Class instead. They're super nice cars. I kind of like just like quite mean looking sporty cars, like an M4 would be really cool as well. If I had to get a supercar, like an amazing supercar, I'm quite a McLaren fangirl, so I'd probably go McLaren. Okay, so last few. Nasmania 2017 asks, what would you do if Ali asked you to marry him on Christmas? One, I would be very surprised because I don't think he has a clue what my ring finger size is. But two, I would say this feels so weird to talk about. I would obviously say yes. However, Ali knows that we're at his family's for Christmas, and Ali knows that if we get engaged, I don't want an audience. I want it to be a private moment with just us two that we can then share afterwards. So I'd be kind of like, what are you doing with all these people around here? What's happening? I think that's your answer. Hamodi Momo asks, why does Ali not have you in the recommended channel tab on YouTube? What? So Ohad86956565 asks, why don't you play Skyrim anymore? So I love Skyrim. One reason I don't play it anymore is because you can mod that game up to the eyeballs, but some of the mechanics in that game are starting to show their age a little bit now. As pretty as you make the game, it's still working on a base, and there's been games that are much more attractive and games that have much easier kind of mechanics since. I think that's one reason I'm kind of looking forward to a new Elder Scrolls. Although with Elder Scrolls Online, we might be in for a long wait. But two, you guys know this, YouTube's algorithms changed massively. Skyrim is an 18+ game. And also, I think YouTube looked at Skyrim content and it probably saw content like mine, which is just gameplay walkthroughs, no swearing, no unnecessary gore, nothing like that. But also people that were making mods that were changing the female character of the game in a certain way. Adding, you know, not really safe for work mechanics, rude stuff in there. YouTube doesn't know the difference between those two videos. And I think this happens with Sims as well. I think this is why a lot of us are getting demonetized for Sims stuff, because some people make Sims content that YouTube then finds very like, ooh, this is risky and not safe. Bundles us all together and we all get kind of punished for it. So YouTube just does not like Skyrim content. If I uploaded it from it, you guys say you want it. If I uploaded it, YouTube probably wouldn't even serve it to you. You wouldn't see it in recommended, you might not even see it in your sub boxes. It would be like I never uploaded anything. So there's not much point me doing it, you just won't see it. Ziamai, I think I'm saying that right, asks, name one food item you would never touch. Oh my gosh, I have a few. I really hate celery. I really like it. Even talking about it's making me want to do a little bomb. I hate mayo. I absolutely hate mayonnaise. It's just the look of it, it just freaks me right out. I can't stand it. They're the two that I really hate. Most stuff I'm really good about, but don't put me anywhere near a celery. And if you dip that celery in mayo, you need to leave. You just need to leave right now. So Noel Juba or Aiden Juba, I don't know, it's two different names, but asks, being in an industry where so many people know who you are, how do you cope with negative comments that people constantly have to say? What do you do to cut that part of your job out? So this is a really good question, and it kind of comes back to the bullying video that I wanted to make. Especially because YouTube's anonymous, there are people that leave really cruel comments or kind of offensive comments, disgusting comments, just stuff that I'd hope those kind of people would never say to other people in real life because it's just horrible. I think if you're in the public space, you have to completely cut that bit of your life out. You just have to pretend it's not there. You kind of have to think, like, I would never ever leave cruel comments on another person's social channels or on their videos. And I think I'm quite a nice, well-adjusted person. So I think if people are doing that, there's probably other stuff going on in their lives. You don't do that if you're happy. You don't kind of like whistle in the morning, make your coffee, stroke your cat, stroke your dog, give your boyfriend or girlfriend a kiss, and then go down and write loads of horrible comments. I don't think that's the place that those people are in. And I think if anybody needs the help, it's not me for getting the comments, it's them for writing them in the first place. So you just have to cut that out. I remember when I first started doing this, I got so many horrible comments about my forehead being big. And it kind of put me in a place where I was literally researching surgeons. I was watching how they do the surgery. And even now, I'm in a place where I'm like, should I just get it done? It would make me so much happier to get it done. And I never thought about my forehead until I started making YouTube videos. I didn't even know it was a thing. I didn't know I had a big forehead. And so I had hundreds of people telling me how gross and big my forehead was. So I think you have to just ignore it, because that stuff will tear you apart. And you don't have to be a big YouTuber with loads of comments to have that. It can just be one person saying it to you online repeatedly. One person can do that to you. So I think you just have to kind of think, the people that are bullies have this stuff going on in their life. They're not doing this because they're happy. They're doing that because they've got problems way worse than yours. So just ignore what they're saying, because it's just nonsense. It's nonsense and you guys should ignore it, and I ignore it. Okay, so last two questions. Bamba Girl 10218888. I find it hard to say numbers. I don't know why. If you could take any sim from your sim series and be best friends with them, who would you choose and why? So I think this is kind of weird, but even though I've got a lot of sims that are kind of probably Ali and Claire's kind of first generation of children, so like Emma and Emily, those kind of ages, I probably wouldn't be friends with them, because I think they're in a different place in their lives to where I am. So even though I might be a similar age to them, I don't mentally feel a similar age to them. I'd be like, oh, do you want to come out and like play video games or go shopping? And they're like, oh no, I'm gonna go to the park and play with my kids. And it's like, I'm just not there yet. If I had a kid, I would definitely be their friends. So I think the one that I'm probably more mentally close to is her, probably Kira. I think Kira is really cool. I think I'd get on well with Kira. And Lilith, I think I would be good friends with her as well. So if I had to choose one, I'd probably say Kira. I'd be friends with Kira. Plus then I can perv on Anthony. So Blue Wolf asks, this is the final question. What games are you planning to play on your channel next? So this is a lot of where I ask you guys what you want me to play, and I kind of give it a go from there. Sometimes when I upload stuff that isn't Sims, you guys get a little bit upset, but the thing is, if I only upload Sims, I'm gonna end up hating that, and I'm gonna put so much pressure on myself to try and produce so much Sims content that I'm just gonna stop enjoying that game. So I can't do it that way. Like, variety is the spice of life, and for those guys of you who support videos that I do other than Sims, thank you so much, because it can be quite demoralizing, kind of spending a lot of time making a video that's not Sims, and then just see it really bomb and not do well. And it's like, I play a variety of games, and I'd hope that you guys would like any game that I played if you like watching me, but I understand Sims is a draw for a lot of you, so I'm not kind of hating on you guys. I just want to make sure my channel still always has variety, because that makes me happier mentally. So that is something that's really important to me. And for the games that I play next, I like to take your guys' suggestions. Whatever you suggest, I would like to play. So I would really like to play the new Tomb Raider game when it comes out. I really want to see a new Elder Scrolls game and play that. Just anything that either has a great story in its own, or that I can make into a great story, then that is what I really love. I've actually I say I've discovered this game is as old as the hills, but it's new to me. A game called Choices, which is like a mobile game where you kind of go through a story and choose how you want the story to go. I think it looks really cool, but I definitely want your guys' feedback on that. So if you want to see Choices on this channel, please let me know in the comments below. And that is the end of the Q&A. Sorry if this got a little bit long, and sorry if it got a little preachy in parts. Hopefully I gave you guys advice that you liked, or gave you answers that you liked. I would love your feedback on the merch stuff, on the games to play next stuff, and any questions you want to ask me as well. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll try and answer a few there as well. Thank you guys again so much for 800k. You have literally made my year. So close to Christmas as well. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in another video. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you again. Bye.